what they want to do, so that'll add another spicy situation. Rick Chilton, the Don Rick Motorsports entry. This guy, in October, he went all the way to the A final, but they had issues prior to the, well, pre-stage, really, and shut it down. He was about to face Deckard in the A final. Along the way to get there, he did a pretty handy job. Was able to defeat both of the Politos in the round 1 and round 2 situations, running 6.9s each time. So we know this guy and this combination extremely quick in the Dodge Avenger.
Now on our sheets we're scheduled to take on Bill Perdicaris. Perdicaris not here this weekend, but he did qualify for Sydney, so Chilton gets the solo. He'll meet Rob Deckard in the second part of qualifying, which will be the semi-finals for the Sydney round later today. The best part about this is there's no mucking around here today. These guys are racing as well as qualifying.
Yeah.
Now, normally in a situation like this, the first qualifying session is, you know what, run to 60 foot, run to half track, and get some data. You can't afford to do that here today.
No, exactly right, Nolts. This is 2 rounds in 2 days, effectively. So it's a double up. We're getting 2 for the price of 1.
You like that?
Yeah, it's a pro stock round, not a gather round. Kind of similar but different. We like to think there's 2 balls in our lane. Set to go, Chilton. What can he come up with?
Well, he can do 80.
To a lazy light for Chilton, but it's the end result when he shuts it down too. So
Here today, the Tremaines know how to go fast with a capital F.
what about the big D? 59 years of age is Daryl Stephen. Surprisingly, 30 years racing this year. Started back in 94 out of Fairfield in New South Wales, driving the Rick Jones race cars Mustang. The engine, of course, is done by Joe Polito. His best ET is a 712 at 192 miles per hour. So anyone that's new to drag racing, you'll hear ET a lot. Elapsed time, the time it takes you to break the beams at this end and break the beams at the other end. So everybody will tell you, it's almost like they know that better than their birth date. What's your ET? They'll roll it off straight away. They'll say it's a 712 at 192 and you go, yeah, I get it. So Parenti as well. Looking forward to seeing Parenti come out.
Now he's had a little bit of testing in the lead up. He returned to the sport back in 2015. Folks will remember the Adelaide International Raceway days, remember the Oldsmobile Cutlass he ran. It was an iconic car, but he's been persisting with the Chevy Camaro now. Sat a couple of seasons out, saw how things were going at the Bend, and now he's ready to roll.
Just sex on wheels, aren't they? Just the aerodynamics of them, the way they sit. When I say aerodynamics, that's minimal.
Oh, 93 for Daryl Stephen. Look at this one. A 93.6 up a 93.8. The margin of best paints you can find. It is a painted livery. It's not a wrap. And this team with pro stock now for a long time. 6.95 in the second round at Sydney went the double victory, but then went missing in that final round. Another guy that absolutely can run 690s, perhaps a 680 here today, but he's going to take down Mario Polito first here.
I'm just looking at some point, and maybe I shouldn't, but I'm looking, are we going to see a 2 with a 0-0 at some point in a mile-per-hour situation? They've never got into that kind of air, that situation, let alone that air. The air is perfect here today. You got up this morning, you're like, it's pro stock air.
It is 100%.
And it's top fuel air too. We're going to talk about that. Top fuel coming up very soon. Pro stock. Round 3. We're basically doing round 2 and round 3 in the one here. We had the first round back in October in Sydney. Rob Deckard was the number 1 qualifier with a 688 and a 9 in that situation. So lots to play for here today for a couple of different reasons. We see Daniel Gregorini checking out the situation. Good to see you, Gregors, off to your left. So, waiting to bring him into stage, Nolts. Polito off in the left-hand lane. Soldados I like the way you switch from South Australia to Castlemaine and switch
Like that, yeah.
to Victorian like that.
Yep.
Everybody else says Castlemaine, but in Victoria, it's a jumping castle.
You can say dance here, it's actually dance. Doesn't matter, so upset the crowd this early in the day, Wade. We've got a big day coming up. The River Bend Nationals. Great to have you along for the ride here. The National Drag Racing Championships back in South Australia. A mighty crowd here for a cracking afternoon of drag racing. We're just...
Tasty on the right side, 7:07 with a 5, a 7. Just then, here is Parenti in the muscle car shop entry. So if we go back to our things just then, would that have been... our numbers are all over the shop. Kabura.
Was getting the solo in this round to come out last, perhaps.
Yes.
There's definitely Jerry Parenti, the muscle car shop entry on your big screens now. In the left-hand lane, the Bullet Race Engineering lane, the Summit Racing lane. But how is that time? That first round, 6:93.6.
Oh, we're going to see some tremendous things happen today. There's no doubt about that. Cool to have the Parentis back in the game. As you said, I think a lot of teams have been sitting around wondering, what do I do? Do I get back in, or do I sell the car? And then all of a sudden, like a phoenix from the ashes, rises the Bend, and everyone in South Australia goes, oh, hell yes, I'm coming back.
So many cool cars to be seen in workshops. There was that little blip during the early 2010s where Adelaide's National Raceway fixed the starvation of drag racing, but now a permanent facility. And you watch over the next couple of years, more and more race cars coming out of workshops and garages here in SA and across this region. If you drew a 500k radius around just this area alone, you'll drag a lot of machinery. And Daryl Stephen on your screen now in the CC Royal entry. So not matching up with the pairings we've got here in race control. Nonetheless, we'll get that sorted for our second round of qualifying. You're watching Pro Stop, part of the River Bend Nationals, the National Drag Racing Championship here at Shell V-Power Motorsport Park.
Apologies for our communication and confusion there on the pairings, because this is for basically qualifying for round 1 here for this round, the third round of the championship here at River Bend. So we'll try and explain this as we go.
Parenti will take that time if they didn't pick up that mistake.
I was going to say it's a phenomenal time for the Parentis to be back with. So Jermaine's, of course, looking good in that situation. So, Daryl Stephen, we've got nothing on our boards at the moment at all.
We know it's Stephen and Parenti. We know that much. We can see out the window. We can see on your big screens. In the pre-stage, now the mind games start. Stephen in first.
The old Pro Stock burn down.
Yep. Now the waiting game.
And it's only qualifying.
Shut that one off and ditto that for Daryl Stephen, who will just do a planned shut off at 776, 138 miles an hour that time around, but just really getting his head around. Remember, this is a completely new playing surface for Pro Stock. They haven't run here in anger ever. For a couple of South Aussies, they've been here.
EQ and Russell Taylor got the win, so...
gone down the quarter mile here at the Bend.
Reaction time. The reaction time is basically the first number that you'll see appear on the scoreboard at the other end. It'll tell you how long it takes for the driver for the green light to come on and then the car to break the beam to start the run. The perfect light is an 0.00. Very, very few people want to do that.
And you know, Adam Tassoni did it. 001. He's dangerously close to doing that now.
$1,000. The boys said they'll give him $1,000 cash if he can get it done. The MAS bricklaying entry of Adam Tassoni up against Daniel Gregorini. Richard Zappia yet again alongside Ronnie Palumbo. Lisa has really stepped it up.
Lisa, 583. 583. And Russell Taylor getting the nod after some crew interference.
Recently a 567. Wowzers, a 581 with a 9 against a 567. Top door slammer. Everything about this is immaculate. The Reed's transport entry. The boys will be lining up shortly. Mick continuing this process with his licensing to get his head in the game. What a car. What a team. Only new to this form of racing. I'm sure, is here as well, the transport magnate here in Australia. And you wait to see the rig nods. Beyond the pits and check out the truck that goes with this, their transporter. Just like that thing.
Engaging my Angus Fogan vibes. Angus Fogan runs a Mustang in the Touring Car Master Central Muscle Cars in New Zealand. Has the same livery as this. So Mick Mahoney has the track to himself in the Bullet Race engineering lane to wrap up what's been a blistering qualifying session. It's only the first. There's so much more to come here today. River Bend Nationals 2024, the National Drag Racing Championship.
How about the folks on the Alibaba ride? Every now and again they just swing up to the top and get a quick view and then doop, I'm gone. So let's see what Mick can do as he continues his evolution through this really complex concept of getting yourself into top. Very happy. He shut off early, but a 661, that's a good job. Put your hands, your butts is going to vibrate. Harris, the C car, that's the car that we were going to see run in Sydney with Larry Dixon. They couldn't repair Damien's favourite car that crashed at the Motorplex knobs.
Remember, there's a D and E car at the start of August International, which we're potentially going to see in the Nitro Jazz. So here we go.
can do. It's almost, well, it is the local round for this team. Aaron Hambridge walks back from the books. Lamartina top fuel entry. What do you got for us, Phil? 382 is the mark.
See the nitro hazing from the right bank or the left bank looking forward. 014 reaction time, but that's about all she wrote.
Bullet Race Engineering Lane out here for competition by Rob Church, running for C Altered Bike over in Lane 2, the Summit Racing Lane, on his 2008 Suzuki Hayabusa from Seaford Rise just down the road. Mark
Competition bike eliminated, ladies and gentlemen. Group 2 will be at the sports or under the indexes that can come up in each run.
And I must say a great g'day out there to a great mate, Richard Stevens, who's in the house here today. Good to see you, buddy, and hope you guys are enjoying the top fuel and everything else we're bringing you today, the Aeroflow Sportsman Championship. Great work, Richard and family.
Absolutely, also with my family. Mr. Tony H is out here this week, and with his family out here enjoying themselves immensely, which is what we're all about here once again. Let's go back to the start line. Chris Allen, a 225 reaction time. He's good. He's fast and double A competition bike. A 680. These guys are on fire. The record is a 709. They went 680
at 200.
At 200 mile per hour, so they've done both ends of the record. That's not reset until tomorrow elimination. Right, within 1% of each other. If they do it out here tomorrow, and I'm confident they're going to knock that around big time. Let's move on now to the next pairing.
Okay, Mark Habel from Broadview, South Australia in Lane 1. Joe Curry from South Hurstville in New South Wales. Great to see them out there on their bikes. The Kawasaki Lane 1. Harley Destroyer. VCOM bike for Joe Curry, and also D-Altered bike for Mark Habel over in Lane 1. Running, of course, on different indexes out there as the weekend progresses. These guys just putting some numbers down on the track.
ET and 8.810 is this weekend, an ex-Pro Stock bike champion in B-Altered bike.
Yeah, good stuff. He's from South Alban down in the lovely Fleurieu Peninsula. So we'll see these guys. Have a look at them. They got their throttle on right out now.
The quicker bike being the A-Altered bike, a bigger engine, faster machine.
They're game up all the way through to the end of eliminations.
Absolutely, as Jim Hamlin's coming out for the Summit Racing Equipment Lane. That's a name that's synonymous with motorbike racing in South Australia. Good to have you here, Jim. What, nearly 50 years of racing? Well done. C-Altered bike. We go over to David Willis from Waialonori in here in South Australia, running in B Street bike. That's the two indexes coming our way. There'll be some
decent run.
David Willis goes at 965. Coming up from NT Victoria, he's the guy just smoking the tyres up down there on board the Suzuki B King, and a double A altered bike coming out for a Gavin Don't. Edgel Malice from Mooney Ponds over in Victoria is running in a double D comp bike. So a bit of a smaller engine, a bit of a smaller class, and the index a bit slower. He went 7.52 yesterday in qualifying for Edge. We go over to Gavin, he's been an 8.13. Gav, we've got to tidy it up and go a bit bigger if we can. We're looking good.
And an 815, 165
From this morning.
Man, good numbers once again. As you said, they're coming through thick and fast now. Alan Brooks over in Lane 1, the Chrysler Regal from Sanderson in South Australia. And he's running out there with his lovely looking Chrysler Regal over in Lane B.
Absolutely, Paul Afarosis. Two Chryslers out here for the Mopar fans here this weekend. And Paul has been absent from the drag strip for a great number of years. He's brought back the lovely VF Valley down here. Beautiful presentation, I might add to him. He went 10.61 in Super Sprint. Can increase and improve their ETs? No. Alan, 10.59 at 126. Paul Aparosis, he lost 2/10, 10.89 at 102 mile per hour. No top end speed, getting off the pad. The pedestrian early.
Big time as we move on to the next pairing coming our way. V6 on board the VS Commodore of Stefan Linus from Northside Performance in lane 1, and going over to lane 2, Wayne Edwards, the Pontiac Firebird.
Beautiful carve out of Wayne Edwards, take nothing away from Stefan Linus. Great presentation from both these young guys out here. Good to see him coming out. Stefan, of course, stands out with that normally aspirated V6 that came out from the Holden production line, Matt, with all electronics all over it. Everything's been taken off of that, back to no electronics, and we go over to Wayne Edwards. We've got some nitrous oxide on board that Pontiac Firebird out there to give him a bit of added horsepower advantage.
Yeah, that is for sure. He had an issue on his last run, didn't get off the start line and then just cruise down the track afterwards. So let's see how Wayne can go on his qualifier.
But you have the quicker car, 10.75, 126, 210 slower than your best, and Stefan 11.90 at 109 mile per hour, almost 210 slower, 1 3/10 to be precise.
Rightio, there we go. United Oil, the big sticker on the back of Michael Bridges' Centura, out here once again for Smart Road Auto Wreckers and United Oils. And he's here from Adelaide, and great to see him here. Neil Mellett from Cheltenham, also an Adelaide suburb, out there, helped out by Paul Hunt Motorsport. Great to have them on board. The 2002 Holden VY utility with the canopy. And there's good to see those guys out there attending one.
Too early, lots of problem out there with qualifying. Neil wide open with that little cruiser. That goes quick, right? 6 seconds over. Yeah, 11.25, 111.7 miles per hour. We go back to Neil, 12.35 at 108.9.
Okay, Andrew Waite, the Commodore wagon, looks like the shuttle special as you'd called it years ago, and he's over here from Ballarat, Victoria. Drove down the road, come racing, drive it home, and then we've got Tex Griffith from New South Wales, Curl on board that beautiful Plymouth Satellite. What an unusually rare vehicle.
You're not wrong about that, and I'm glad he's brought it over here this weekend. The Plymouth, you were saying 505 cubic inch wedge engine on board for Texas Automotive down there with Tex behind the wheel. And he's been a 10.35 at 130 miles per hour. We go back over to Andrew, his best so far this weekend in qualifying, 11.18 at 119.9 miles per hour here, Matt.
Okay, both drivers fully straight. From New South Wales as he makes his way down towards the finish line, looking for another mid.
The lightest class in competition bike eliminator, A and street bike that you can put into a competition event, and Suzuki 1327 cc's engine with Trevor Birrell Racing, and good to see Neville Langley, good bike rider. He's been around a lot of different bike classes over the years. Good to see Nev. Have a look at this, the elbows. The index to 934. He just went. You're talking about pistol peak facilities.
100% indeed, on board the 509 cubic inch Hemi, and he's from Altona in Victoria. And going over to your lane, Michael.
Yeah, absolutely. The Oxley Motorsport team are here this weekend from Stanbury over in New South Wales. Of course, the Mullins Dragster they've put into a competition here this weekend, looked after by Luisi Race Engines. Those guys can put a wicked engine together. So we'll see how Mitch is going to go in C Dragster automatic for his qualifying. Back to Peter Bissolides. Take a look at this. AA APIA. Man, what a class designation he's got out there. The AA, well, the first A for the V8, the AA, it's got, of course, a power outlet on board and ordered production. And then the I after that is for the electronic injection. And the last A, automatic transmission. How are we going to mix all that up?
So any slight variation determines the letters. I wonder how many out there are in AAAPIA. I've never
Not a
seen
great
it
deal.
before.
Not a great deal at all. It's a unique class, and Peter's built this car to suit. Well done to you, Peter. Mitch Oxley, as I was saying, from over in New South Wales, a Mullins Dragster driver. That guy's getting quite a good handle out there on this drag review this weekend. Of course, the Riverbend Nationals here for 2024. Man, drag racing at its best in qualifying still here this afternoon. Get a good run this time. He does 6.61, 212 miles per hour.
Run once again, and we see competition eliminator has now moved out of their third qualifier and now moving on into one of our full-bodied sedan brackets coming our way in a tick.
Well, Group 2 Superstock Eliminator will coming up on the start line right about now. Out here, Kim Fardella from Western Australia driving the Ford out here in e-gas. So it's a manly six-shifted car down there for Kim. Well done to you. Young Timmy, the diff man in the E-modified sedan automatic. Last night he blew out the oil filter. You remember that?
He blew out the seal in the oil filter.
Yeah, the seal. And we were concerned that the engine was like exploded.
Oh.
But no, hopefully he won't have that drama now. He's done the burnout. It's got through that neatly. So let's take a look. And at the moment, Tim has not qualified. Okay, but so we go back to Kim Fardella. He's qualified with an 8.48 at 158 in e-gas trip.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, Trantafillo over in lane 1 and Fardella from Western Australia, Adelaide. 8.48, 158 miles per hour, identical to yesterday's run. Champions, and Craig Gillies has been an alternate. He's now in a dragster. Matty Forbes drives pretty much anything on the planet.
Well, I'm going to say to you now, Matt, these two guys, Craig and Matt Forbes out there, you'll say us, great guys, great mates, the best of friends. But when it comes out here with this drag strip, they both trying to outdo each other no matter what. They don't meet each other very often. This is only qualifying.
Pretty rare.
But let's take a look at some reaction times on the start line and see who's going to try and kick whose butt this time round. B Dragster for Craig Geddes. D Alden Automatic down here for Matt Forbes. In the Alden, my apologies, D Alden Automatic. And we'll keep an eye on him. Both these guys are what we call hot shots on the start line. And of course, Craig Geddes is the Australian champion as I speak.
Okay, let's see how they go down there on the start line. The Dragster long wheelbase alongside the alternate short wheelbase. Both helped out by Deco Glaze glass splashbacks.
I'll put money on it. Both these guys will both go under the index in this qualifying pairing. Let's go. 684, it's 190.
On the start line, we've got the BMW M3 of Steve Norman from Wyalla. That's an awesome car. As I mentioned, when I had my M3, we'd put photographs up. His is a lot quicker than mine was, but his is more impressive as well.
Well, it would be a bit more impressive out there, Matt. It's a wild machine for Steve Norman. He's qualified SMA. We go over to Nick Totsi. Nick driving that lovely Chevy Camaro 358 Cuba B modified production automatic. He's also under the index. So these guys here are both going to be pretty quick in eliminations tomorrow.
So is Dimitropoulos handed the car over to Totsikas to drive out here, has he?
Only to drive, not give him the car the key. I can promise you that. But no, Nick's taken over the driving duties for now. Yeah, Tom's busy with work commitments and so forth. But great to see the boys coming out, the entire team. This class here takes a fair bit of knowledge in super stock. The cars down the racetrack in record time. You know, the engines are the high revving, high horsepower machines, you name it. They've got all the gear, especially Stevie Norman's machine down there. That is a beautiful piece of machinery.
Yeah, it is indeed beautifully set up with a 341 cubic inch Chev RT Racecraft, and it is absolutely turned on beautifully. And Dimitropolis, bit of an old.
Two different classes out there. Steve Norman, 8.25. He goes quicker than yesterday.
Graham Sims do well this round. He's had an aborted run yesterday, only managing 11s, but him and Superstock is hopefully he's going to get the series. So we'll see how we go.
Well, now you mentioned Graham Sims. Simo, of course, coming over in Western Australia, 74 years of age, driving a little 270 cubic inch F-gas entry with a manual stick shift, 74, think about it. Can you imagine the heart rate going right now?
Oh, yeah.
He's a bonzer of a guy, loves the drag race. Of course, we go over to Darren Gay, coming over from South Maclean in Queensland. What a drive in the Chevy Lumina. He's going to run in B-gas, another quite quick. B-gas, in fact, an old pro stock car, you could fit it into B-gas. There we are. It gives you a bit of an idea.
Yeah, totally. Indeed. So there we go for the Chev Lumina, as you've just explained beautifully, up alongside the Toyota Supra with a small cube V8. As we see them sit there side by side for their relative indexes, F-gas and B-gas. Graham Sims, Western Australia, and way up in Queensland is Darren Gay from South Maclean. Let's see how we go out there on the start line.
Absolutely, both these drivers. Graham is going to want to qualify well. He's only done 11.58. That car should go a lot quicker than that in F-gas trim. And the RPM of that legend will be up there. That to be around at least 10,000 RPM to get it to go. Keep an eye on him. It's a small engine, of course. Darren's going to be quick with a big, quick car. 779 at 173 under the index. And so
alongside Top Fuel, go and have a chat to Jay and pick yourself up some absolute bargains.
Absolutely, as we move now into Super Street Eliminator here this weekend. And thank you so much, of course, Outlaw Speed Shop getting behind Super Street Eliminator.
Okay, here we go. Super Street. Katrina Reid from Kadina and Michael Jennings from Valley View, both in South Australia. Great to have them here with us today. And as you mentioned, Super Street brought to you by Outlaw Speed Shop.
Okay, let's have a look at these drivers. Michael Jennings, a very, very talented driver out here in qualifying. Katrina Reid, she's one for the ladies and she's good at what she does too. Come on, you guys, let's have a look. It's the fifth and final qualifying session. Let's take a look. She went 10.40 earlier on. This time round, 10.20. Michael Jennings, 10.93, 122. 10th qualifier, 10th fastest car.
Steve makes his way back. G'day, Pete, on board that Corvette. Good run, that last run down there for Pete in Superstock there. So great to have him out here on the raceway, along with the Dragster coming just up behind.
As we see Tony Antonino in the S-Series Valiant, up against the Giovanni Frasinda from course again in South Australia. Big time is going to be good in competition. Giovanni, a 133, a little bit off pace, but he's the sixth qualifier, which really only means it's the sixth quickest in age junior dragster for the weekend. Savannah Candello over here is the third quickest, so she's doing really well. And 816 at 83, but a better 8035 at 83 mile per hour going over the Cooper Plumber.
Yeah, good run for Cooper. Previous best prior to that was a 7. He's got his delay box working.
Yeah, you're not wrong about a big delay. We go to Colin Griffin, 9.92, Cole, at 160 miles per hour. Well done. That was a good run for Colin. Michael DeRose, oh, it is now. Well done for Seth and A Junior Dragster, 801.
And Madeline Datson from Ross Trevor, up in Adelaide suburbs in lane 2. Great to have them out here once again competing for the Aeroflow Sportsman Championship, including the Western Conference Final out here this weekend.
It's great to talk about it at the same time there, Matt, with the Aeroflow Sportsman Championship here at the Bend. Of course, yeah, with the Western Conference, we've got the western side, we've got the eastern side meeting here this weekend. But there's more to it than that. We haven't got enough time to describe all that to the folks right now. But some great stuff coming out here once again. Let's move on with Madeline Dadson and young Lachlan Walker down here at the start line. Both of them running in A Junior Dragster. The age limit 8 to 16 years of age. The cut-off ET over the 8th mile is 8.0. And Lachlan is a number 6 qualifier with an 8.044. And number 6, yeah, with an 8.044. And 8.0. But the 8th mile. Red light side is a deck on a 135. So we go back to Tyler at 8.72.
We're going the other way.
Yeah,
Also spend $150 and go in the running to win a Formula 3 hot lap, and make sure you grab your raffle tickets under each occasion. So the more you spend, the faster the lap.
And if you go in that Formula 3 and you do win that, make sure you bring some spare underwear.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely right.
They'll shock you how fast those corners go and how fast they go around those corners. Unbelievable stuff. Right, we go back to Taylor Horton down here in Todd Wagner, and both of these youngsters are from Victoria. From behind with that twin turbo and blow them off down the deep end of the race, up and down. So we'll see what he's going to do. Not now in qualifying. Eliminations, we're going to see that happen.
Oh, I think if he takes off his wing mirrors on that Commodore, that might account for a 6-second pass.
Well, every bit will count. Who knows? Good thinking there, Matt Butler. Well done. Should have a word to him about that. But Graham Horner, 8, very, very similar in their performance down here over the quarter mile from both drivers. Let's keep an eye on the guys. It's another opportunity for them to have another qualifying shot out here this afternoon. Rightio, both drivers now waiting on Corey to be fully scored. Run down here. Look at that little ute down there. What's that going to do beside that heavy looking low slung 57 Chevy with Dave Foster behind the wheel down here? But Glenn Henley has won 6 events in a row around this fabulous country of ours here in Australia. He's a hotshot driver coming from Mount Gambier. Eliminations later on. He's going to show these guys the short way home, or he intends to. That's right. If they can do anything about it, they'll say that ain't going to happen. Let's take a look at this here in qualifying for Henley and Foster.
Pretty good reaction time coming up, I can predict, hopefully, from Henley. So both very respectable.
Well, very quick run back for Dave, a 7.59. He's qualified with an 8.31 earlier on. Can he go a bit quicker? Vlado Churik is an animal of a driver.
Oh, yeah.
He's been 7.37. Can he go quicker? Vlado will throw everything at it. He's not scared of that Pontiac GTO. No, I can promise you that, mate. All he wants to do is go faster and faster.
Here we smash on the dashboard as getting that GTO to go faster.
And he goes a 7.44, a little bit slower than last.
We also begin some eliminations later on this afternoon from some of our bigger fields. So qualifying eliminations all happening from now on here at this Riverbend Nationals.
Wow, some really important information there. Thanks, Matt Butler, as the guys and girls are starting to play a little bit harder around here. Right in there, Jackman. So, of course, Davey over there in the full race engineering lane. That's a wild looking at supercharged outlaw T-Bucket all there. check these out, and we're waiting on the guys to come in to the PART1 timing system. 3 stages on for the Elgin, waiting on Kirkman. Kirkman's very, very touchy. Kirkman's at 2. We go back to David, 7.44, Dave, the quickest you've been for the weekend at 177 miles per hour. Good driving coming out.
It all started in the back shed. Somewhere to tinker, train, test and try. And try.
Make it a noise, Ben, come on. The Gregorini team is coming back down, and well done. Very emotional down there for those guys. The girls especially down here, Matt. But brilliant to see that, of course, and some great racing coming out from those guys tomorrow. That elimination event is going to be on big time. It's amazing stuff. Lisa and Daniel coming back with their respective teams. I tell you what, they performed beautifully here in the night-time air. Absolutely, those girls, they were so emotional, but they did a beautiful job. I love that team of those girls. They are so good at what they do. Well done and top.